Hello everyone, welcome to CNA, the daily newspaper analysis. So today we are back with the following list of topics to discuss. So let's start. The first topic says about the ASER 2022 report. So recently what we have seen that the annual status of education reports survey that trends in school enrollment, attendance and reading and arithmetic abilities has been recently released. So this year, nearly 7 lakh children in the age group of 6 to 14 years across 616 districts were surveyed. So what are the key findings of this report? So we could see that recently, uh, despite school closures during the pandemic, the overall enrollment rate for the 6 to 14 age group people has increased from 97.2% in 2018 to around 98.4% in 2022. So this is a very important data with respective to the statistics. Okay, so therefore, recently the government schools have seen a sharp increase in children enrolled from even 65.6% in 2018 to around 72.9% in 2022. Also, at the national level, the proportion of children in classes 1 to 8 taking paid private tuition classes increased from 26.4% in 2018 to around 30.5% in 2022. तो ये जितने भी डाटाज है ये डाटा बहुत ज्यादा रेलेवेंट है. ओके, also, we could see that the percentage of children in class 3 in government or private schools who were able to read at the level of class 2 dropped from 27.3% in 2018 to around 20.5% in 2022. So therefore, this ASER, which is an annual survey that aims to provide district level information on children's enrollment and basic learning. So it is a household based survey rather than a school based survey. So information on learning is collected from children in this age group of 3 to 16 years of age. So today we have seen that there are various number of challenges associated with the Indian education system because the outdated curriculum, the limited university industry partnerships, okay, the broken governance system, more girls than boys drop out schools. So all these factors directly cause a right in the approach of going down the respective people who are engaged in school education. Though the 86 CAA of 2086 Constitutional Amendment Act provides that fundamental rights to free and compulsory education under Article 21A, which includes the common education where the rich and the poor are educated under one roof. So Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, okay, then creation of higher education financing agency, national institution ranking framework, the GIAN initiative, the Swayam portal, the Swayam Prabha portal. So all these things are basically important for the activities through which we are directly categorizing the education in schools. So therefore, the Samagra Shiksha schemes to ensure the inclusive and equitable quality education at all levels of school education is very much important in this respective area. So therefore, today the government through such number of records, through the number of datas, tries to work on improving digital infrastructure and ensure that the students have access to mobile phones or even laptops in their respective time period. तो उसी के बेसिस पे यहाँ पे काम बताया गया है with respective to this report of ASER. Okay, next, coming to the next topic says about the Indo-Russia rifles. So recently, the Korwa Ordnance Factory in Amethi, Uttar Pradesh has produced the first batch of 7.62 millimeter Kalashnikov AK-203 assault rifles. And the deliveries to the Indian Army are expected to begin soon. So it was stated that the factory's capacity to allow its to fully equip the personnel of other law enforcement agencies in India with AK-203 assault rifles, which due to their high adaptability are suitable for a wide range of operators, adding that the joint venture will also be able to export to third countries. So even recently we have seen that you can see this is the AK-203 rifle, which is a very reliable rifle which needs to be given to our respective forces. So even our COAS, Chief of Army Staff, General Pandey Sahab, Manoj Pandey Sahab, he said that this joint venture will also compete the contract for over 6 lakh AK-203 rifles in 128 months. Okay, which will be roughly produced for a period of around 10 years. So therefore, this model combines excellent ergonomics, adaptability to different shooters, and high performance characteristics, making it one of the best assault rifles in the respective world. ओके, सो देयरफॉर ये अभी सिंस एक फर्स्ट बैच यहाँ पे निकाला है, तो इसीलिए AK-20 राइफल्स वर बेसिकली अंडर द न्यूज. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं. Marking fake news. Okay, so today we could see that this news marked false by PIB to be taken down draft rule. So today we could see that recently यहाँ पे एक यहाँ पे एक आर्टिकल आया था about the covers the larger issues of fake news in India along with ways to curb fake news and some best practices. So recently the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology proposed a draft rule uh, and directly amended the IT Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code of Rule of 2021. And the proposed rule requires social media platforms to be taken down content that has been fact-checked by the PIB. So the amended version of the IT rules of 2021 was enlarged to include the removal of fake news from online intermediaries. So the larger issue of fake news in India is basically of the motive, the impact, okay? Or even we could see that there are requirements of laws to curb the fake news. Okay, because today we have got various challenges associated to curb the fake news. Because a country like India, which has got 622 million active monthly internet users. So due to the end-to-end encryption of messages, third parties will not have any access to these messages if we need to encrypt these messages, if we need to stop the fake news. ओके, तो देयरफॉर वी कुड सी दैट यहाँ पे बताया गया था, कौन सा न्यूज था, यूपीएससी सीएसई अथॉरिटी ट्राइड टू कांटेक्ट यू, रिस्पांसिबल रिक्वायर्ड फॉर मोर डिटेल्स, क्लिक ऑन. सो नो सच मैसेजेस हैव बीन सेंट बाय यूपीएससी, लेट्स बी कॉशियस ऑफ दिस क्लिकबेट. तो यहाँ पे देख सकते हो कैसा, बिकॉज एवरीवन टुडे, एवरीवन ऑफ अस व्हेन वी सी अबाउट दिस यूपीएससी नोटिफिकेशंस, तो यहाँ पे ऑब्वियसली हम लोग क्लिक करेंगे एंड दिस क्लिकिंग में क्या हो जाता है, ये सब होता है एक नंबर का हैकिंग का टेक्नोलॉजी, which can be told to be as phishing, where informations are directly shared via the link given below. ये जो ब्लू कलर का लिंक देख रहे हो, तो उसी को क्लिक करते ही पूरा तुम्हारा जो पर्सनल डिटेल्स है वो सब चला जाएगा हैकर्स के वहां तक. So therefore today a very strict fake news law is the need of the hour. Linking Aadhaar to social media accounts as suggested by Attorney General could be helpful. And being a digital responsible citizens, we have to see that rechecking the information from some authentic sources and by applying common sense without getting biased. Okay, so therefore some best practices being Facebook has partnered with fast checking website, and even Google News trained 8,000 journalists in different Indian languages to spread awareness about the fake news and fast checking. So therefore this is a need of the hour, ताकि ऐसे जितने भी फेक न्यूज है ये ज्यादा से ज्यादा ना फैले और हमारे जितने भी लोग हैं वो सब बचे रहे इन सब फेक न्यूज़ से. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं. CRPF recruitment of tribal youth. So recently the tribal youth, the Central Reserve Police Force has completed the recruitment process of around 400 tribal youth from 3 worst left-wing extremism affected districts in Chhattisgarh. So the new recruits from the district of Sukma, Bizapur एंड डंटेवाड़ा. तो अभी यहाँ पे ही बहुत ज्यादा माओइस्ट प्रेजेंस है इन छत्तीसगढ़, सुकमा, बीजापुर एंड दंतेवाड़ा. So therefore the minimum qualifications will be relaxed from class 10 to class 8 for the recruitment of 400 candidates, and the services of the recruits will only be confirmed after they acquire the minimum education qualification of class 10, for which CRPF will help them register with the National Institute of Open Schools, reorganized by the central or the state government. So along with the formal education, study material, books, and coaching assistance during the probation period will also be provided to the candidates by CRPF, but the decisions on the serving of the candidates will only be confirmed after they achieve the after they achieve the class 10 qualification through the CRPF's training. So today we could see that thousands have applied for the advertisement post of constable general duty, and the identity of the candidate is finalized for the post and is under wraps due to security reasons. So the families of many candidates have received threats from Maoist cadres warning them from joining these respective forces. तो आज हम लोग जानते हैं about the CRPF was much active in this region to control the menace of left-wing extremism. So we all know about the problem of left-wing extremism, which is also known by various other names such as Naxalism or Maoism, which is a form of armed insurgency against the state motivated by leftist ideologies. Okay, so therefore we could see that they have created various number of problems, और इसको टैकल करने के लिए हम लोग को locals tribal youth का बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है. Okay, because they know the demography, they know the respective topography of that region very well as compared to an outsider. ओके तो इसी के बेसिस पे सिंस यहाँ पे 400 लोगों को यहाँ पे 3 डिस्ट्रिक्ट से लाया गया है, तो इसीलिए यहाँ पे ये न्यूज में थे. Okay, you could see the region which is basically Maoist affected, that is the Eastern Corridor. Okay, which is also known as the Red Corridor. Okay, चलो next पे आते हैं. Spot Billed Ballad Eagle Owl. Okay, so recently we have seen that the spot ballad eagle owl, which is known as Bubo nipalensis, okay, that is a scientific name, was spotted for the first time in Sesquicelum forest and for the third time in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so you can see the respective area where you can find such number of birds. Okay, so it was sighted twice earlier at the Nagarjun Sagar Sri Sailam Tiger Reserve. And what is this bird? So this is also known as forest eagle owl. Okay, and is a large owl species typically found in wooded areas such as forest and rocky hillsides, and are also known for the distinctive spots of their belly. Okay, so you could see that distinctive spots, मतलब ये देख सकते हो यहाँ पे इस belly में distinctive spots है थोड़ा, तो इसी के बेसिस पे यहाँ पे इनको अभी देखा गया है in the Sesquicelum hills, okay, in the Sesquicelum forest, and for the third time in Andhra Pradesh. इसके अलावा पहले 2 टाइम में विजिट किया गया था नागार्जुन सागर श्रीशैलम टाइगर रिजर्व्स में, देखा गया था इसको. ठीक है, so the spot bellied eagle owls are large, very powerful and bold predatory birds. So the birds make a strange scream similar to humans, and it is hence called the ghost of the forest in India. So this eagle owl species are distributed in India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, China, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and even till Vietnam. So they are known to prey on large birds and also on mammals like golden jackals, harps, civets, and chevrotails. Today, you could see that this bird species is very much under least concern with the IUCN list. Okay, तो इसी के बेसिस पे यहाँ पे न्यूज में था about this respective bird which is known as spot ballad eagle, okay, which is also known to be with the scientific name of Bubo nipalensis. Okay, so therefore it has got a common name saying forest eagle owl and is also known as the ghost of forest in India because of its distinctive sound like a human. Okay, चलो लास्ट पे आते हैं. Editorial conflict of eco-sensitive zones. Okay, so what is this all about? So recently, what we have seen that ecologically sensitive zones are the zones which are intended to safeguard protected areas, supposedly national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. So today we could see that these protected areas cover 5.26% of India's land area and as much as 108 national parks and around 564 wildlife sanctuaries. So they are notified under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So, however, this rights neglecting fortress conservation model has come under repeated criticisms from conservation scientists, bringing in the scheduled tribes and other traditional forest dwellers, which is also known as the Forest Rights Act of 1960, which was amended in 2006. So today we could see that the eco-sensitive zones, which are fragile areas around protected areas, which are declared by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So they need to be well protected so as to make this region very much of accustomed by the respective forested areas. So today, if the government wants to make this area a good area on the protected field, so we have to think about the respective local panchayats or even to the Gram Sabhas to give the responsibility of protecting these areas. Because today, these forested areas falls maximum under the region which are under the scheduled areas. So even the provisions of the Panchayat's extension to scheduled areas, the PESA Act of 1986, also is directly under this respective ambit. So what has led to the respective protest? आज ये protest क्यों हो रहा है यहाँ पे? The court stated that the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change guidelines must be implemented in areas proposed in draft notifications and within a 10-kilometer radius to yet to be protected, proposed protected areas. But now we could see that states were given the authority to increase or decrease the minimum width of the ESZs. So powers were even given to the principal chief conservator, and the court ordered that no new permanent structure could come up for any purpose within the ecological sensitive zones. So यहाँ पे impact क्या हुआ कोर्ट का डिसीजन का? All activities permitted by the guidelines can only continue if the principal chief conservator of the forest grants permission within 6 months of the court order. And this period has already expired and has led to protests in Kerala. So banned structures include electric poles, buildings, walls, roads, and bridges. And millions of forest dwellers living on forest land and on the fringes of forests are most affected. So after being denied forest rights, they are now denied better public infrastructure. And the government and the judiciary need to reconcile these laws to reaffirm the democratic governments and protection of the respective government. तो इसी के बेसिस पे सिंस यहाँ पे आज हम लोग जानते हैं कि सिंस यहाँ पे बहुत सारा प्रॉब्लम्स फेस किया जा रहा है बाय दिस फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स, तो इसी के बेसिस पे यहाँ पे प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा है और इस प्रोटेस्ट का खत्म होने का नाम ही नहीं ले रहा है. So therefore केरला में बहुत ज्यादा एक प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा है against the government because government has directly mandated to conserve these areas and therefore not to build any ecologically hampering structures or infrastructures so as to not go ahead with the process of destruction of the ecologically sensitive zones. Okay, तो इसी के basis पे ये protest था and therefore this editorial came into prominence. Okay, so this is all for today. We have this 500 MCQs. Please do join this. Please do attempt these MCQs and do join our Telegram and WhatsApp channel for further updates. Also do join us sharp at 8:45 p.m. to go ahead with the past 25 years question papers which are discussed thoroughly in our YouTube channel of CSAP. So that's all for today. Thank you and Jai Hind.